Joined now by Carolina Panthers head coach Matt Rhule. And Matt, I'm driving into work, and I'm thinking about a week ago to the day. We're following Georgia Baylor in the Sugar Bowl. And I'm thinking about all the stuff that's gone on in the week. I've traveled a bit, had some stuff going on with the kids. I've had a busy little week. And I think about you. From that night in New Orleans to sitting right there now as the Panthers coach, how do you best describe all that you had to process and figure out?
Oh, it's been a whirlwind, but it's been really good. And I'm happy to be here today. And really the last 24 to 48 hours have been something that maybe it'll be a chapter in a book someday. It's been something else.
Reading on David Tepper when he became an owner and just watching the way he's gone through this and talked about process, I believe him when he says that it's a process. We see coaches get a year, sometimes two, and it's like they hit their eject button. I believe him when he says he's committed to a process. How much of understanding that process meant time, perhaps, resonated with you?
I thought that was important. And, I think the biggest thing was as I asked him about his career before being an owner, he did all the things that he did in the business world through process. And seeing the way that he did the process for hiring the head coach and, the way that they did it with me, I thought was elite. And so this is someone who doesn't just use those words. They've lived it and they believe in it. And as I talked about the process I used at Temple and Baylor and I plan to use here in Carolina, it just seemed like we clicked.
That's nice when a plan comes together. All right, I feel like there's two obligatories here. One's the Giants, and given you grew up in the city and you were there, and there's a sense, and I respect the privacy, but it's trumped by my curiosity, how difficult, if the Giants were on the outside kind of knocking on the door, was it to keep them there?
As you go through these, lots of teams reach out, lots of teams talk to you, and you want to just make sure you're respectful, but at the same time, when you find the right one, I think you have to go take it. And my wife and I sat there and just felt so good about this opportunity. Felt so good about, we lived in North Carolina for 4 years. We felt so good about coming back here that it just seemed like the right time and right place, and we went ahead and pulled the trigger.
Understood. Now, quarterback's the most important position in this league. Carolina's got a guy that's won an MVP, but we know that there's an injury issue there, and we also know that he could go someplace else moving forward. What does that process look like as you try to figure out, is he the guy? Like, how does that sort itself out?
Probably as soon as I'm done with you, I'm going to take this coat and tie off and go upstairs and start going through the roster with Marty and really at all positions. I think as I build a staff, my job is to start to really get to know the roster. I had a chance to talk to Cam yesterday, and I have so much respect for the things that he's done, but also the things that he's going to continue to do. And I had a great conversation with him. So I think that's a process as well as I get to continue to know him, talk to Marty about the things that are going to happen with the roster, with all the players, and just try to make sure when I talk about it, I'm really informed. And I think that process starts tonight.
Well, Matt, as you slip off the tie and the blazer, will the wife sign off on another smock, an NFL smock? I'm sure people are curious about that. I say be comfortable, man. If you look good, you feel good. If you feel good, you coach good. What are we going to go with there?
No, the smock was a one-year thing.
I got you.
As a matter of fact, the Sugar Bowl one. We were gonna try to auction it off and raise some money for a local charity there in Baylor because I'm gonna go with a pullover and moving forward and feel really good about it.
I'm happy for you. I'm just watching. Obviously, I enjoy the college game, watching what you did at Temple and seeing what you did at Baylor, turning around what it was to getting them to the Sugar Bowl. You've done an amazing job everywhere you've been, and I wish you the best as you make this transition to the highest level. And I appreciate you taking time today on a busy day.
Thank you for saying that. Appreciate it.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports and analysis, download the ESPN app, and for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.